Everyone, welcome back to Larry's Americana. Today is number 6. We're going to talk about a new topic, sneakers. And let me just show you the original magazine this came from and what the cover looked like there. I did this series for NHK here in Japan. We started with the articles, there were about 60 in total, and then later published the book, taking some of the best or more interesting ones and put them into this book here. So, anyway, today we're going to be talking about sneakers. Sneakers, part of Americana? Yeah, of course, I think so. Absolutely. So, let me get going then and read to you from this. Here we go. It was a 1968 TV commercial that fueled my lifelong interest in sneakers. In the ad, we saw a young boy wearing new white sneakers, running and then leaping like an NBA star over a neighbor's fence in slow motion. Do you know that ad, the one I'm talking about? The idea, of course, was that if we all bought and wore those sneakers, we too had the potential to become Supermen. Later, as a high school student, I remember owning a pair of flashy red Pumas. Let me show you. Yeah, I think it kind of looked just like this, just like these flashy red Pumas that I wore for 562 straight days. Man, they must have smelled, huh? At that time, I didn't even own anything else I could put on my feet. Now, at the age of 62, although I am no longer interested in jumping neighbors' fences, I cannot give up my love for finding cool, new, but inexpensive sneakers to buy and wear. This makes me a typical American. Guess what? I currently own, rough guess, 15 pairs of sneakers, and it is driving my wife crazy. Yes, yes. It is driving her crazy. Why? We are running out of room. That's true. Okay, so, okay, let me just flip the page here for a second. Give me a second. Okay, here we go. So, how prevalent have sneakers become in America? They are everywhere. Last summer, no, it was actually a few summers ago, when I returned to the US for a visit, I was near the Empire State Building in New York. Standing in front of the famous building, I spied a group of females, all from the same family, 5 generations in total. A 4-year-old girl, her very young mother, a 40-something very young grandmother, a 60-something great grandmother, and an over 80 great great grandma who was sitting in a wheelchair. Guess what? They were all wearing white sneakers. Not famous brands, mind you, but sneakers just the same. Americans love sneakers. Yes, we do. You might be curious about where and when the word sneakers was coined. Actually, there seems to be some disagreement about that. A few ideas. Although there's no dispute about the actual meaning, one story has the name being given by an advertising agent for Keds, right here. Keds, wow, look at this ad. That is old. In the early 1900s. The soles are quiet and make no noise on any surface. While another version has the term first appearing as far back as 1887. Wow. In the Boston Journal of Education. Listen to this story. It is only the harassed schoolmaster who can fully appreciate the pertinence of the nature of the name boys give to tennis shoes nowadays. Sneakers. Sneakers. It seems that at that New England boarding school in the late 1800s, naughty students were quietly sneaking around the campus after midnight in these newly invented rubber-soled shoes that made no noise, playing tricks on friends and, of course, on teachers. Yeah! Rubber-soled shoes were first called plimsolls. They were not perfect. The major problem was that what you wore on your right foot and left foot were exactly the same. No distinction between a left foot and a right foot. Sounds strange to me. Making them quite uncomfortable. Yeah, I bet. But finally, in 1892, Goodyear began to mass produce a rubber-soled shoe called Keds. Yeah, again, Keds, here it is. And thus, a major new industry, incredible future industry was born. The next step in the revolution took place in 1917 when Converse, you guys all know Converse, right? Converse. When Converse introduced a product for basketball players that they called the All-Star. It was made of canvas and rubber and had a high top that supported the ankle. Yeah. That sneaker, later known as the Chuck Taylor All-Star, has turned out to be one of the most profitable pairs of sports shoes ever made. Since its initial release, it has sold, listen to this, listen. Take a guess. How many pairs have been sold of this Chuck Taylor All-Star? I'm going to tell you. Around 800 million pairs. Wow. Worldwide, maintaining its immense popularity for almost a century. Now that is what we call a cash cow, huh? Meanwhile, okay, I'm going to switch to a new slide here. Here we go. Why? Right here, look at this. Meanwhile, over in Europe, 1924 saw two men, Adi Dassler and his brother Rudy, give birth to the beginnings of the Adidas brand in Germany. Later, Rudy started up another famous sneaker company, Puma. Wow! So we got Adidas and Puma coming from these two brothers in Germany. That's incredible. Although many young kids nowadays associate sneakers and being cool with hip hop, yeah, and or Nike and basketball superstar Michael Jordan, yeah, right? The sneaker as a fashion statement concept actually originally took off in the 1950s when James Dean, here he is, James Dean, wore a pair in the movie Rebel Without a Cause together with jeans and a t-shirt. Rent the movie and watch it. Take a look for yourself. What do you think? Cool? You can also find pictures online of a very young Steve McQueen wearing sneakers too. Well, he's a little bit older than James Dean. It was a little bit after that, but maybe late 50s, early 60s for sure. By the way, sneakers are not necessarily called sneakers in other countries. Yeah? Did you know that? So, in England, it's called a deck shoe. And in Australia, where'd it go? Tackies or Takis? I'm not sure how it's pronounced. I've got a picture right here. Right here. Right here. You see? I think it's called a tacky or taki. I'm not sure. But it's not called a sneaker. Oh, sorry. That was not Australia. South Africa. South Africa. Sorry. And finally, in some urban areas in the United States, the slang for sneakers is kicks. I didn't know that either. Indeed, language evolves and is changing all the time. Speaking of Nike, did you know that the famous Nike swoosh-like logo was designed by a graphic design student in 1971 and then sold to Nike for a measly $35? Ouch! I bet that student, whose name I do not know, sorry, regrets that sale now in hindsight. But then, perhaps he figures that although he did not make much money from it, his talent for design has helped to shape American and world culture. And who knows, he probably went on after that and was hired all over the world by companies to design, their own logos because he was so successful with Nike. I'm not sure. Well, wouldn't life be perfect if we really could all become supermen and superwomen just by lacing on a pair of sneakers? As a kid, I truly thought we could. But now, I know better. We all know better. Little painful. Where's the romance? But still, people love sneakers. And I do too. I think you do too. It's all part of Americana. Thanks for joining me with our sixth video in Larry's Americana, and I will be talking to all of you again soon. And thanks to Russ for the suggestion of moving my camera angle up a little bit. I'm starting to lose the light. It's getting a little dark here, so I'm going to end the video now. See you next time. Thanks a lot.